be working with geometry proofs. The key to proofs is understanding what's happening from the previous step of a proof that leads to the next step. So we did this when we worked on our algebra proofs. We said how we got to our next step. We want to look for vocabulary, so see a word in a step. The next step, or some consecutive step, usually will have something to do with that vocabulary term. Symbols are just short for vocabulary terms. For example, this symbol that looks like an equal sign with a squiggly line above it is a short for a vocabulary term that means congruent. Congruent means two equal pieces, or, yeah, equal length. Some other symbols we might have is this one that looks like an upside down T. This one means perpendicular. Okay, this one that's two slanted lines means parallel. And I remember because the word parallel has a double L in the middle, and these kind of look like double L's. Okay, this one means angle in geometry. And then there's one more. This one is a triangle, and it means triangle. Okay, also geometry proofs will give me pictures, so if I'm working with a segment, I might want to check to see if the segment addition postulate pops up, or you can add two segments together. And the same applies for angle addition postulate. So, I have a little proof here. It gives me 5 equals x, that's my given. How do I turn it into x equals 5? So think back to last week when we learned the... So on number 2, I have AB equals CD, so those two line segments are given. Then in the next line I have CD equals AB. How would I go from the first step to the second step? Anyone but Eli. This is the symmetric property again. Okay, so my next one says AB is equal to CD and CD equals EF. How am I getting AB to equal EF? Not subtraction, not addition. I replaced the CD with EF. What's another word for replacing? So if I'm not here tomorrow and someone else is instead of me, that's called a substitute. So I'm doing substitution here. You may see this with a different word. That would be transitive. So substitution is just replacing something that equals something else. Okay, so on the next one I have x equals 5 and then x plus y equals 8. Those are my givens. Then in the next step I have 5 plus y equals 8. So what did I do from the first step to the second step? Substitution. I replaced that x with a 5. So on the back side, this one wants me to finish the sentence. So the first one says if S is the midpoint of AB, so let's draw this out. Where would my midpoint go? In the middle. And then I know that this side is going to be the same length as this side. So I'm going to draw the 2 tick marks to show that. Okay, so then what 2 pieces are equal now, or congruent? So I have 2 line segments that are both the same length. Which 2 line segments are those? Not A and B. A and B is my whole line segment. Remember, I cut it in half with the point S. AS and SB. And my next one says PQ is congruent to XY. So I'm going to use 2 tick marks to show that they're the same length, but different than the first picture that I drew. So there's 2 things I can write for this one. I can use the symmetric property to flip it around. So I can have XY would be congruent to PQ. Or I can say PQ without the lines equals XY without the lines. These 2, whenever I have an equal sign, it means I'm dealing with numbers. And you don't write lines above the lines when you're dealing with numbers. Okay, my last one says A is between L and T. So I'm going to have 3 points on this line. What letter do you want right here? L. T would have been fine too. Which one do I want in the middle? A, because it says it's between it. And then the one at the end has to be T. So, for this one, I'm going to say LA plus AT equals LT. So to get the entire length of the line, I added the two segments together. This is called the segment addition postulate. So for my last one, it gives me that AC equals AB plus AB, and then it also gives the picture. So my first statement is AC equals AB plus AB. That was a given. Then I have AB plus BC equals AC. Because I'm adding two segments together to create the entire length, this is going to be my segment addition postulate. Then from steps 1 and 2, how do I get step 3? I have AB plus AB equals AB plus BC. So notice, this is my left side. And this is my right side. How can I set those two equal to each other? What property have we talked about that allows me to do that? What property? Huh? When you replace something, substitution. Okay, and then from step 3, I go to step 4, which is AB equals BC. What did I do? Yeah, I subtracted, so that is my subtraction property of equality.